Good morning, space fans. That does not sound like a good morning, space fans. Come on, we could do better, Valley Stream. So much better. Well, we have quite an event for you this morning. We appreciate everyone getting here nice and promptly this morning. We have a lot of guests with us this morning, both on the ground and up above. 250 miles above Earth, to be precise. Orbiting us will be astronaut Andreas Mogensen speaking with us live from the International Space Station. We're going to begin our program with our moderator, Fred Kemmerer from New Hampshire. He has been collaborating with us, Limark, and ARISS to really get this event off the ground. No pun intended. I know, I crack myself up early in the morning. Fred, are you there?
Yes, I am. We're ready to go.
All right, let the show begin.
All right, very good. Good morning, everyone, and hello. My name is Fred Kemmerer, and my amateur radio call sign is AB10C. I'm going to be serving as the moderator for today's ARISS, Amateur Radio on the International Space Station Contact. I'm speaking with you from Hollis, New Hampshire, in the United States of America. I'd like to welcome all of you at Valley Stream High School, as well as those watching us on live stream around the world. Students at Valley Stream High School in Valley Stream, New York, will shortly be speaking with astronaut Andreas Mogensen, call sign Kilo Golf 5 Golf Charlie Zulu, on the International Space Station today, and will be using amateur radio. Through the help of amateur radio volunteers and the crew on the ISS, we hope to soon establish amateur radio contact with the ISS as it flies more than 200 miles above the Earth and as it orbits over our ground station in Italy. This contact will be performed using IK1SLD, an amateur radio ARISS network ground station that enables schools worldwide to talk to the ISS via amateur radio. Valley Stream students and faculty would like to share some information about their school and the many wonderful activities that they've been involved in leading up to this contact. So students and faculty, it's over to you.
Everybody, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Please remain standing for the Jedwoods to sing our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the
Okay. Please help us welcome the principal of Valley Stream South High School, Mr. Matthew Swinson.
Thank you so much. Thank you for getting into the South Gymnasium so quickly, ladies and gentlemen. This morning, we're going to have a live conversation with astronaut Andres Mogeson. Before getting started, I need all of us to help recognize the two people that were mainly responsible for this event taking place. Ms. Jeanette Azarado, would you please stand? Ms. Elena Garces, where are you so our students know who you are? I am so excited to see our gymnasium packed with so many South fans and South students. This morning, several South students will be communicating with astronaut Andres Mogeson. Andres will be speaking to our students to discuss training to become an astronaut, characteristics NASA looks for in astronauts, preparation, microgravity, and maintaining homeostasis while in space. The subject matter of space exploration and preparation has been captivating humanity for a very long time. There is no doubt that space exploration represents our deepest curiosity, our desire to push the boundaries of knowledge, and our relentless pursuit of the unknown. It is a journey that has, time and again, expanded our horizons, challenged our understanding of the universe, and pushed the limits of human achievement. For those of you who may not know, here is why space exploration is such an important endeavor. Number one, it's about scientific discovery. Space exploration has led to incredible scientific breakthroughs, enabling us to better understand our own planet, our place in the cosmos, and the fundamental laws of nature. Technological advancement. The challenges of space travel have driven innovation, leading to the development of countless technologies that have practical applications here on Earth. From GPS to medical advancements. We can't forget inspiration. The stories of astronauts like Andres Mogeson and the images of distant planets inspire us all to dream big and aim for the stars, motivating the next generation of scientists, of engineers, and explorers. How about environmental awareness? Studying space helps us understand Earth's delicate ecosystem, highlighting the need, bringing nations together for a common purpose. Falcons, as you embark upon your educational journey, I encourage you to look to the skies with a sense of wonder, knowing that there is so much still to be discovered and explored. Space is the ultimate frontier, and your generation will play a pivotal role in shaping the future of space exploration. As we get ready to start this event, please keep your eyes on the stars and your hearts open to the infinite possibilities that space exploration has. The universe is vast, and our potential is limitless. The future is yours to explore. Thank you.
Please help us welcome Ms. Jeanette Azarado, Valley Stream South High School Science Department Chair.
Good morning, South. I stand before you this morning with immense excitement and pride. We are on the brink of an extraordinary opportunity, a moment that will transcend the boundaries of our high school and connect us to an astronaut while aboard the International Space Station. This all began with an idea. From Science Honor Society President Bethany Kaczynski. Yeah, you could clap. Who brought her idea to Ms. Garces. Through the incredible dedication of our Science Honor Society and Ms. Garces, Bethany's idea became a reality. Over the past year, Ms. Garces has poured her heart and soul into planning an event that is truly once in a lifetime. With weekly Zoom meetings, countless hours of preparation, and even an unforgettable journey to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida this past June. Our experience at the Kennedy Space Center was nothing short of life-changing and profoundly memorable. It provided us with invaluable insights into the workings of space communication, and it's a testament to the power of dreams and determination. Most notably, both of us were able to sit on the bleachers to watch a launch of a satellite, which was something neither of us will ever forget. The spectacular flare of the rocket and the vibrations once it broke through the sound barrier as it climbed up past the clouds was incredible. So as we stand on the threshold of this historic event at Valley Stream South High School, I want you all to remember one thing. The possibilities of what you can accomplish in this world are truly endless. The stars are not too far away. They are within your reach. Let this moment be the spark that ignites your passion for science and exploration. Thank you.
Please help us welcome the Science Honor Society officers, Bethany Kaczynski, Thaddeus Gargering, Ethan Fazal, and Dory Chow.
Hello and good morning. We're really excited that we were chosen to host this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and speak to the astronauts live on the International Space Station. We hope to further foster students' love of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in education. The following presentation was created by the Science Honor Society of Valley Stream South High School in association with the Long Island Mobile Amateur Radio Club. Why is space exploration important? There are amazing and interesting experiments and research occurring in the ISS in a zero-gravity environment. This exploration will further our curiosity and urge us to explore the unknown. The International Space Station is the largest structure humans have ever put into space. The fully assembled International Space Station is a wonder of engineering. It has a mass of nearly 1 million pounds and can host 6 astronauts at a time. More than 230 people from 18 countries have visited the station, and it has been continuously occupied since November 2000. ARISS stands for Amateur Radio on the International Space Station. At a fundamental level, ARISS was designed to help students all across the world become interested in STEM-related careers and help them understand the benefits that space exploration can provide for humanity. ARISS uses a ham radio on the ISS to provide amateur communication between students on Earth and workers on the ISS, allowing students to understand the astronauts' daily lives and the different kinds of technology used. Amateur radio communication has taken place frequently on space missions ever since the STS-9 mission in 1983, when Owen Garriott brought a handheld ham radio as payload for Space Shuttle Columbia. It took until 1996 for ARISS to become an official organization, and since then, ARISS has been exchanging information and interests from space to Earth year after year. This is an image of Owen Garriott holding a model of Space Station Columbia. He first began his career as an electronics officer in the U.S. Navy for 4 years, and then as a professor in electrical engineering at Stanford University. After being chosen by NASA, he took a 1-year U.S. Air Force pilot training course, which made him qualified to pilot jet aircraft. It took time, but he eventually went on 2 space missions, and his achievements there earned him a spot in the Astronaut Hall of Fame for both the state and the entire nation. You may have heard of Halls of Fame being used in context related to sporting before, as lists of people who excel and exceed expectations in any particular game, such as Derek Jeter or Bill Russell. But Halls of Fame can be used in multiple contexts for multiple people who excel in multiple different subjects.
Even though Owen is no longer with us, the work that ARISS has accomplished continues as strong as ever. This is an image of the ARISS space shuttle in orbit. The shuttle's amateur radio experiment provided students with the unique opportunity to talk directly with astronauts in the shuttle while they orbited the Earth, traveling at the speed of 17,000 miles per hour. If that number seems hard to grasp, that's because it's so much faster than anything seen in day-to-day life. A normal human can walk at a speed of 3 to 4 miles per hour. Bicycles can range from 8 to 17 miles per hour at maximum speed. Most cars travel at speeds from 30 to 80 miles per hour, and airplanes typically fly at around 575 miles per hour. ARISS is in constant motion of 17,000 miles per hour to prevent falling into Earth. Entering the Earth atmosphere at that speed would look something like this. ARISS is run and operated by many across the globe, with notable help from the United States, Russia, Italy, and Germany, in operating, engineering, and planning out how everything in the satellite works. This is Owen Garriott, a United States NASA astronaut, holding a handheld radio in space. This radio can be used to contact ARISS from the Earth. Now for some information about the radios themselves. If you recall from before, all the work that ARISS has done is possible thanks to a thing known as a ham radio, which itself is better known as an amateur radio. These devices work over such long distances by tapping into the radio frequencies that are slightly more frequent than the AM spectrum.
These specific frequencies used allow the radio waves to span very long distances and use a lot of power. As opposed to other common radio waves, such as family radio service used in walkie-talkies, ARISS's radio waves are much longer and less frequent, allowing them to reach the people up in the ISS daily. But the radio waves themselves are not the only thing that is needed for space distance communication, such as that seen in ARISS, to take place. We would also need a way to send, connect, and decode information from these waves to communicate. This is where that too comes in, an audio port used by radio stations to send and receive sound bits from radio waves. They can connect to any device that transmits these waves, such as our phones. Ham radios require connecting to other radio stations to fully transmit sound data from one place to the next. ARISS has been making good use of our satellite ground station, which enables us to help schools around the world talk to astronauts on the ISS. If you are wondering, the ham in ham radios comes from a slang term for radio operators that had ham-fisted or relatively poor skills when actually operating radios. But that does not mean that ham radio operators cannot do amazing things with radio transmission, or that they cannot handle radios correctly. Remember, we are talking to people on the International Space Station with a ham radio.
This is one of the radios that ARISS uses, the IC 9700 system. When everything regarding sending a radio message is done, the message then needs to find its way to the specific designated receiver. This is where the ISS itself comes in. The radio waves reach the ISS, where they can then be beamed to their designated recipient. The way satellites do this involves assigning values to pixels based on the reflectance of the location of the transmitter and the atmosphere, which then act to beam the message to its specific recipient or back to the transmitter if the transmitter wants a response back. As for ham radios specifically, they use FM repeaters set up and supported by local radio clubs. Most ham radios can reach around the world using 100 watts of power on wavebands between 10 and 80 meters. Our signal is being received by a ground station in Italy, and Fred Kemmerer, our moderator, is assisting us in receiving that signal. This is Andreas Mogensen, the first Dane to fly in space and the commander of the International Space Station. He will be transmitting his message to the ground station in Italy momentarily, and we will be able to hear and speak with him. NASA and amateur radio made talking to Commander Mogensen possible.
Please help us welcome Ms. Garces, the advisor to the Science Honor Society.
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's been an honor to be chosen to work with NASA. Valley Stream South High School, the Science Department, the Science Honor Society are so grateful for the contributions and dedication of the following clubs, organizations, administrations, teachers, and students. A special thanks to Verizon, Mr. Matthew Swinson, the Valley Stream South High School principal, Ms. Jacqueline Allen and Mr. Thomas Zervas, Valley Stream South High School's assistant principals, Ms. Jeanette Azaretto, Valley Stream South High School science chair, Mr. Lipsky and the Falcon Report. We truly could not have done this without you. We cannot thank you enough. Mr. Hayden and Ms. Stefano and the Jedwoods, Mr. Michael Kerrig and the custodial staff, thank you so much for everything that you've done. John Koskowitz and the athletic director who allowed us to use the gym. Our IT department, Jenna Pedicus and Catherine Aragon, and the art department for all of your art inspiration for the science department. Thank you. Miss Ellen Daniels, Mr. Louis Malchek, Mr. Edward Wilson, Mr. Richie Centron, Mr. Mark Kaczynski, and Miss Debbie Kaczynski, members of the Long Island Mobile Radio Club. Fred Kremerer and Kathy Lamont are ARISS NASA coordinators. The Science Honor Society officers, Bethany Kaczynski, Thaddeus Gagaring, Dory Chow, Ethan Fazal, Emily Northdurft with the Falcon Report, Bethany Kaczynski, who spearheaded this contact, the countless students that were involved in this year-long process, every department, and anyone that we missed. We thank you all because we truly could not have done this without you. Thank you. And before we begin, the Science Department would like to announce the winners of the ARISS contest. The winner of the Space Poetry Contest would be Nalini Kemaraj, and the winner of the ARISS Dress-Up Contest is Diarmani Stewart. Please see Ms. Garces today after school for your prizes and your award. Congratulations. And now we'd like to call up the students that will be asking the questions to the astronauts. Please come up.
Hi, my name is Ruth.
And my name is Chris.
You must be pretty excited to talk directly with astronauts on the International Space Station today. While we're waiting for the space station to come over your portion of the sky, let's talk a little bit about how it's going to happen. Of course, Mission Control is in contact with astronauts all the time, using a big radio with lots of fancy equipment.
However, we're going to be using something very different today. We are going to use ham or amateur radio to talk directly to the International Space Station.
When most people hear the word radio, they think of a music radio station, but it's so much more than that. Radio actually refers to the unseen energy that transmits all sorts of signals using electromagnetic waves. At first, people learned how to send signals like Morse code, and then they discovered that you can send so much more, like data, computer signals, and even TV.
Maybe you don't realize it, but you use radio every day. Maybe you watched the TV this morning, or you texted your friends, or maybe even you checked social media like Twitter or Instagram.
Let's travel back to space for a minute. Since the beginning of the space age, humans have sent many spacecraft out into the universe. These range from the Hubble Space Telescope, orbiting the Earth daily, and the Curiosity rover exploring Mars. We've even sent a long-distance messenger, the Voyager 1, who has traveled outside of our solar system.
Whether it's capturing a great picture of a far-off galaxy or conducting experiments on the space station, radio has to do with all of these. And today, you're going to be using ham radio. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is ham radio?
Amateur or ham radio is a service and a hobby where operators can talk with people around their neighborhoods, their cities, their country, and even around the world. Amateur radio operators require a radio license from the government. They're not that hard to get. I have one. My call sign is KM4LAO.
And mine is KD8YBJ. Our call signs are a way of identifying who we are to other operators. This lets everyone know that we have the proper license to using the radios.
As amateur radio operators, or hams as we are often called, we can talk with others about basically whatever we want, often science or some new radio gadget that we are interested in.
Let's focus back to the space station and your contact today. Many of the astronauts and cosmonauts aboard the space station are licensed ham radio operators. That's why your operators today can contact them. The people here, as well as the astronauts, are licensed to talk to each other, and you are allowed to talk over to their radio.
For our conversation today, we'll need an amateur radio station on the ground, either in this location or somewhere else around the world. We'll also need a radio in the space station.
Anyone SS? Anyone SS?
You can hear the calls come. This is November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, the International Space Station, over.
On the space station, the radio transceiver is connected to an amateur radio antenna mounted on the outside. One of these antennas will be used today during our contact.
For our side of the contact, we need a good-sized antenna, a signal amplifier, something to make our signal stronger, and a rotator for turning our antenna. We have to keep our antenna pointed right at the International Space Station. And remember, it's moving across the sky and fast.
To aim the antenna properly, we need to track the path of the space station exactly. NASA uses complex systems to track the path of the space station and other orbiting objects.
The satellite tracking program we are using works out a complicated set of mathematics to provide the orbital location of the space station, moment by moment.
And ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to connect to New Hampshire. Here's Fred Kammerer.
All righty. Thank you, students and faculty, for that wonderful introduction and all the great work you've been doing to learn about amateur radio and prepare for your contact. ARISS is an international program supported by amateur radio operators and space agencies around the world. Some member organizations of ARISS include the American Radio Relay League, the Worldwide AMSAT Radio Amateur Satellite Corporation, as well as the Japanese Space Agency, NASA, Roscosmos, the Russian Space Agency, and many other space agencies around the world. I'd like to introduce Claudio, IK1SLD, who will be serving as our ground station operator that will provide the radio link between his ground station in Italy and the International Space Station for our contact today. Claudio, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us how our contact will be conducted?
Okay, thank you, Fred, for your presentation. Briefly, our telebridge station is located in Casale Monferrato, northwest of Italy, in the Casale Monferrato Airport in northwest, 100 kilometers from Turin and Milan. We have a complete automatic system to track ISS, and the antenna is already pointing the International Space Station rising on the horizon. When T-minus 30 seconds, I'll go to call Andreas aboard the ISS operating today with Oscar Romeo 4 India Sierra Sierra call sign. And as soon as the signal will be loud and clear, I will invite the students to start with first question. And for everyone, please don't forget to say over, because this is a very important thing to coordinate the conversation between us and the astronaut. So now we see the ISS approaching to Italy. We have 30 seconds to the acquisition of oxygen. So microphone back to you, Fred.
Very good, students. This is going to be a very memorable few minutes. Good luck with your contact. And remember, students, after you ask your question, don't forget to say over. Claudio, I'll turn it over to you to begin calling the ISS.
Okay, we have the acquisition of signal now, so I'm calling. Oscar Romeo 4, India Sierra Sierra. This is India Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta. Telebridge ground station calling for a scheduled ARISS contact. Do you copy, Andreas? Over. Oscar Romeo 4, India Sierra Sierra. This is India Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta. Telebridge ground station calling for a scheduled ARISS contact. Do you copy, Andreas? Over. India
Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta. This is Oscar Romeo 4 ISS. I have you loud and clear. How me? Over.
Okay, Oscar Romeo 4 ISS, IK1 SLD. Good afternoon, Andrea. Happy to meet you from Italy for the first time. Your signal is loud and clear. Are you ready for first question? Over.
I am ready, and welcome to the International Space Station. I look forward to speaking with you. Over.
Okay, Andrea. Good student.
Hi, I'm Marab. What influenced you to become an astronaut? Over.
Well, my interest in space exploration and being an astronaut goes back to when I was in 4th or 5th grade and first learned about NASA and astronauts, and in particular the Apollo missions to the moon. I thought they were incredibly fascinating. The sense of exploration that they encompass was amazing to me, and well, even to this day, I still think the Apollo missions are some of the most, or it's probably the most incredible achievement that humankind has done, and that's what influenced me to become an astronaut. Over.
Hi, I'm Ethan. I understand that to become an astronaut, one of the requirements is to get a degree in the STEM field. Can you further explain other requirements that you need to become an astronaut for students that would like to become one? Over.
Hi, Ethan. Yes, in addition to the educational or academic background in STEM, you also need to have some practical or operational experience. The work we do on board the space station is very hands-on. We're often taking things apart and fixing them. So any type of operational experience is important. In addition to that, you need good interpersonal skills. You need to be able to communicate well, to work well in small teams, and just be able to get along with other people because you will be confined to a small area in a small group. Those are some of the additional things you need to be able to do. Over.
Hi, I'm Dory. What training was required to become an astronaut? Over.
Hi, Dory. The first thing that happens when you get selected as an astronaut is that you have 2 years typically of basic training where you learn all of the basic skills and knowledge that you need to be an astronaut. And once you have finished basic training, you're ready to be assigned to a flight. And once you get assigned to a flight, you have an additional 2 years of training where you learn all the specific skills you need for your mission. And that includes things like learning how to do a spacewalk, learning how to control the robotic arm, how to maintain and repair all the systems on board the space station, and of course, how to conduct all the scientific research that we do up here. Over.
Hi, I'm Alexa. What characteristics do you think NASA is looking for in future astronauts now and in the future? Over.
Well, I think in addition to a background in STEM, what most space agencies are looking for, both today and in the future, are individuals with a very broad range of skills who are good at collaborating, good at living and working together in small teams. Because in the future, not only will we have long-duration missions on board the space station, but we're also going to be sending astronauts further into space as a first step back to the moon, and maybe after that onwards to Mars. And so it's very important that astronauts have a broad range of skills because they will be much more, they will have to rely much more on themselves in the future, and they will have to live for longer periods of time in small groups. Over.
Hi, this is Bethany. Can you further explain the space community that you live in on the ISS? Over.
Hi, Bethany. Yeah, we have a great community up here. We are typically 7 astronauts at a time on board the International Space Station, representing many different nations. Currently, we have 5 different nationalities up here, and it's just a fantastic team of people, highly trained, highly skilled. We work all day long doing exciting science and technology development, and then we enjoy our free time together in the evenings and on the weekends. Over.
Hi, this is Kevin. Can you further explain how you prepared for microgravity in space in your training? Over.
Hi, Kevin. That's
Simona. How does microgravity affect you? Over.
Hi, Simona. Microgravity affects us in many, many different ways. First of all, being weightless is very similar to lying in bed. You don't use your muscles, you don't really use your bones to keep you upright, and so your body begins to get rid of your muscle mass and your bone density. So that's why we have to exercise 2 hours every day. Our immune systems are also affected by weightlessness, by the isolation, by the stress that we're under, and of course the radiation, the exposure to radiation that we receive in space. Our vision is also impacted, probably because there's a fluid shift inside our bodies, which increases the pressure in our brain. So many, many different ways that our bodies are affected by being in space. Over.
Hello. Hi, I'm Noel. What is the duration of time that you're permitted to be in space on the ISS? Over.
Hello. There's not really a time limit. Typically, most missions at the moment are 6 months long. Some missions are a year long. But really, the most important factor is how much radiation you get exposed to, which is why all of us carry a dosimeter on us, which measures how much radiation we get exposed to, and then there's a limit for how long or how much radiation you can accumulate over your entire duration. What I can tell you is that one of my colleagues up here, Oleg Kononenko, when he returns to Earth about 10 months from now, he will have spent a total of 1,000 days in space over 5 different missions, and that'll be a new record. Over.
Hi, I am Juan. What do you enjoy the most about being on the ISS? Over.
Hello, Juan. Well, one of my favorite things is to sit by the windows in Cupola, our window module, and look down at our beautiful planet Earth. It is an incredible sight to see our planet from space, and you really begin to understand what a unique place the Earth is. There's absolutely nothing around us that in any way resembles the Earth. Not only is the Earth unique, but it's also our home, and we have to protect our home because if we in any way destroy the Earth, there's no other backup. This is what we have. This is our home, and we better protect it. Over.
Hi, this is Andy standing in for Zane. Can you describe your daily activities? Over.
Hi. Yeah, our daily activities are controlled by Mission Control Center Houston and the other control centers around the world. So typically we get up at 6 in the morning, Greenwich Mean Time, and then we begin working at about 7:30, and then we work continuously until 7:30 at night. And that's anything from doing scientific research and technology development to doing maintenance and repair of the space station, because this is a complex machine where things get worn out and need to be replaced and maintained. And basically, we have a schedule every day where we just try to keep up with the schedule and complete all the activities on the timeline. Over.
Elena, we have 1 minute to lost.
Hi, I'm Samira. How are you able to maintain homeostasis of your body systems while in space? Over.
Now that's a complicated question. The first thing that happens when you get to space is your body begins to adapt to its new environment. And like I said earlier, one of the things that happens is you begin to lose muscle mass and bone density simply because there's no need for the body to maintain your muscles and your bones when you're not using them. But of course that's detrimental if you want to return to Earth. So you have to exercise for 2 hours every single day. When you're in space and weightless, your blood also does not get pulled down into your legs. So there's a higher amount of blood in your upper body. And so your body begins to get rid of blood
We have lots of signal in this moment.
Okay, Elena, would you like to close and thank everybody, and then I'll wrap it up.
Sorry.
On behalf of myself, the students, teachers, and administration of Valley Stream South High School, we would like to thank you. We consider it an honor to have been chosen to be in the presence of one of the bravest individuals on earth. We will never forget, and we will share this experience with all of the students within our district. We thank you.
All right. Students, I'd like to congratulate you on making history this morning by communicating with Andreas Morgensen on the International Space Station. Less than 1% of all the schools, far less actually than 1% of all schools in the world ever get a chance to do what you have just done. On behalf of the ARISS International Volunteer Team, sponsors and supporting space agencies, this is Fred Kemmer, amateur radio operator AB10C, sending my greetings to all of you in traditional amateur radio terms. 73 and best wishes. This is AB10C clear. Verizon operator, please stop the audio.
Please help us welcome the Jedwoods, under the direction of Mr. Kyle Hayden and Mrs. Rita DeFano.
All right, Fred, are we done?
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand, do-do-do-do. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true, be true. In other words, I love you. Ba-ba-dee-da, ba-ba-ba-dee-da, ba-doo-be-da, ba-dee-da, ba-ba-ba-dee-da. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true, be true. In other words, I love you. Ba-ba-dee-da, ba-ba-ba-dee-da, ba-doo-be-da, ba-dee-da, ba-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, good, good, good. Thank you. Good morning again. Boys and girls, before closing out and dismissing you to your second period class, please give your classmates, teachers, and central office dignitaries a round of applause for making all of this happen. We're going to dismiss, I'm going to dismiss you in sections, and I believe we're going to start here now with section G. You are dismissed. Please make your way and transition to your second period class. Everyone else, please remain seated.